Okay, we are back again. I'm Luana Bradford here with my father, Harlan Bradford Sr., a reflection of my life, episode 20. Today is Friday, October 16th, 2020. And today we're going to talk about the military. And this is a quote by Napoleon Bonaparte. It says, "The first virtue in a soldier is endurance. Courage is only the second virtue." So, do you remember what year you went into the military?
1948.
Do you remember what month?
June.
And you were in, you always say 30 years and 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Now you enlisted, right? Or were you drafted?
Yes. I enlisted. Volunteer.
And you enlisted, when you enlisted, Dad, were you able to enlist in Mayview or was it, or did you have to go to Kansas City or something?
I went to Lexington. But I entered in Kansas City.
Now, since you were 17, did someone have to sign for you?
Yes. My Mother Hazel signed for me.
What did she think about you going in?
She thought it was okay. Good.
So she was supportive?
Yeah.
And do you remember when you made the decision that you wanted to go in the military?
I always wanted to go. I don't no particular time that I say, oh, I want to go in the military. I always wanted to go.
Was that something that you talked to her about when you were younger?
Well, she knew it, so it wasn't talked about. It was just she knew it. Yeah, she knew I wanted to go in. She never She never said no. I wouldn't go.
Now, what made you choose the Army?
I told you on already that I always wanted to go. There's no reason.
No, I said, why the Army? There were other branches of service.
I said there's no reason. I can't say that I want to go to the army because of this or because of that. It's just that I always wanted to go into the army. I did.
Did you know about other branches of service, or was the Army the only thing you knew?
I know about it. My cousin Herbert was in the Navy.
Who was in the Navy?
My cousin, Uncle McKinley's son, named Savannah's son,
What was his name?
Herbert.
Oh, okay. So where did you go to where did you go to basic training?
Fort Knox, Kentucky.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like, I mean, how did you get there on the bus, on the train?
Bus. Bus. Bus out of Kansas City.
When you departed from Kansas City, was there to see you off?
What?
When you left out of Kansas City?
Was anybody? Nobody was there to see me off. I was, no, on my own.
So the first time you were that far away from home, right?
Yes. Excuse me.
So can you remember, if anything, how you felt about being away from home, like that first time when you got on the bus? Any remember like what you were thinking as you were driving off?
No, I didn't have no special feeling of fear or anything like that. I just was on my way.
Were you like excited?
You might say that. Might say that, but not like, oh boy, pretty soon I'll be down there. Oh boy, nothing like that. No, just something different. Just I was going.
So did you feel sad that you were leaving home?
No, no,
Nothing?
no, no, not at all.
So when you got to Fort Knox, Kentucky, is that where did the bus drop you off at Fort Knox? Is that how that worked?
You know, I was. Let's see, did I go down to Fort Knox on the bus or on the train? Yeah, I went down there. I might have gone down there out of Kansas City on the train. Uh, but let's see, did I? Because when I left Mayview, I left Mayview on the train. The train, it was a special train that came through Mayview and would stop when somebody asked them to stop. Uh, the Streamline train. So I caught the Streamline. It stopped and maybe came up through there, but it wouldn't stop unless the not the conductor, but at the station there, they had a little station in Mayview, and if you ask them to stop, you want to go to Kansas City special, they'd stop, and they stopped and picked me up. I remember that. They stopped and Mayview and picked me up. Streamline train. It took me on to Kansas City.
So when you got to Fort Knox, Kentucky, what's the what do you remember the first thing, like, I mean, because I've never experienced basic training. So you got there, did they take your barracks first, or what did you have to do?
Well, when you got there, was somebody there to meet you at the train. A bus, and put you on a bus. You got on a bus and took you to Fort Knox, to the camp, to the fort.
What else?
He took you to the fort, and you got assigned to a platoon for your training, and you got assigned to a platoon for your training, and they had buildings there. You got a barracks with a bed and a bunk. They called them bunks. And somebody taught you how to make the bed up and everything, and you would, and that was your room. That was your room.
Now,
And they told you when you heard a whistle, You had to get up, or one whistle to get up, and you had another whistle to blow. They blow a whistle, and you had to fall outside. They call it falling out, fall outside.
So you had one whistle to get up and one whistle to fall outside.
Or another, whenever a whistle, yes. Yes, I guess you could say it that way.
Do you remember who your bunkmate was?
There was a barracks full of guys. There wasn't no bunk mate. It was
Oh, okay. Just a whole bunch of people in the room.
a bunch of men in the barracks, right?
So, tell me about like your basic training. So you got there, you learned everything you needed to learn as far as making the bed, getting out there. Did the next day, is that when your actual training started?
Yeah, the next day, training started. Right.
How do you remember like how early you guys had to get up?
Oh, I don't know. It was probably about how early, about, I don't know what it was. I don't want to say it real early what it was. It was probably about 6 o'clock.
Now, did you guys before you had breakfast, or did you have breakfast first?
What do you mean first? What do you mean first?
Like, did you guys start running and doing any physical activities first?
No, you got up and after you got up, you fall out and they have a roll call. That means they call everybody's name, make sure you were there. They call it roll call. So after the roll call, they had breakfast. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Okay, walk me through your day. So walk me through your typical day at basic training. So you had roll call, you had breakfast. Was it like a full breakfast, like a big breakfast?
Yeah, it was a big full breakfast. Well, you're gonna get that warm. Full breakfast. Full breakfast.
Okay, so now walk me through your whole day. Breakfast, just take me through your day till your day ended.
Well, you had breakfast, and after breakfast, if you weren't on KP, you'd fall back out. But I never did come up on KP. KP meant kitchen police. You had to, you'd help clean up the kitchen, clean the dishes, and they called it kitchen police, KP. And so then after that, you fall back out again and go off to some kind of training.
Like what?
Well, whatever they had for the day, you might be learning how to drill, how to march. There's a lot of things to do.
How far into basic training was it before they uh, taught you how to shoot?
How to what?
To shoot your guns.
Oh, that would be that was while you learned how to march. You'd be out in the, you might stay out in the field, in the woods. They call it in the field. Go out in the field and learn how to pitch your tent. You learn how to pitch a tent and you sleep out there all night. And you'd have there'd be somebody, a tent was all the tents were two-man tents, and you'd have a partner that you'd sleep in the tent with. Yeah, and through the night they might have a call, get everybody up and go marching, hike in the woods somewhere. So you do that, come back in and go back and get back in your tent and sleep all the rest of the night. And get up the next morning and go marching again.
Do you know like how far some of your hikes were or marches? Like how many miles?
I would say some of the miles, 3 to 5 miles.
Now, when you marched, did you have your rucksacks and stuff?
You had your backpacks, so you had to roll your tent up in a V-like shape and put it on your back. When you carried everything with you, you had it all. Yeah.
Now, when you were going through basic training, did you feel that it was hard on you physically?
Feel any what?
Did you feel it was hard on you physically? Was it physically hard?
No, wasn't that hard.
So a lot of people, they say basic training is very difficult to get through, but you didn't feel that it was hard.
No, it depends on what kind of units they were. If they were in or are in or would be in. I wasn't in mine was not.
So what kind of unit were you in?
I was just in plain old basic training. I wasn't in a special type outfit. Like him. I see it. It was infantry training, but it wasn't a special infantry outfit.
Do you remember during your basic training, who was I guess if you want to call it the closest friend or whatever you might have had during that time?
No, I didn't have no closest friend. Nope, didn't have one.
So in basic training, did you, besides like the hiking and marching and things like that, did you have classroom training?
You know what?
Any classroom training?
No, afterwards I did. After basic training, I graduated from basic training. Then I went to uh, another school. It was what do they call it? It was oh like school for school for school for That's where I got started my office training. So after basic training, I went to a special school where you learn how to run an office. So that's where I went. Learn how to type and use a typewriter and all that kind of stuff. They had what they call morning reports, where they kept count of everybody, and each company had to turn in their morning report. Was everybody there? Or nobody had gone AWOL and left or run away or anything like that. So I had that. I learned that. I learned how to do that. How to run the morning report.
So what other things did you said you learned how to type? What other things did they teach you as far as office management?
Like I said, the morning reports, any paperwork, when you learn how to type, there's always somebody wants something typed up to go someplace and do something, whatever. So when they'd come in the audit room and ask for that, they needed a they needed a letter to do something. You take down what they want and type it up, and give it to the first sergeant. You look it over and give it to the company commander, and then sign it and give the permission to leave.
Can you remember what other things you learned when you were in the?
Damn, my phone is ringing.
Bradford, Harlan. That's okay, Dad. We'll get it later. We don't have much time. Bradford, Harlan.
Yeah, they'll leave it. Okay.
So what can you just remember any other type of training besides learning how to type?
I told you, learning administration. Administration is wide as the ocean and deep as the sea, Lamar. I can't say. Administration is a big job. And that's what you learn how to run the business.
Did you learn anything about budgets during that time?
Learn anything about what?
Budgets, finance.
No, that wasn't finance. That was not finance.
Okay.
Administration. Administration and finance, two different things.
Being part of, because you did that most of your career, what did you like best about that?
You got to be involved in what was going on in your unit. I mean, you knew you didn't maybe not involved in it, but you knew what was going on. There were things going on.
You know, it's like with me and the work that I've done most of my career, I've always been in an internal consultant or advisory role. And that's to be like right now where I work in the office program management administration at CDC. And, again, it allows me to kind of have that overarching view of everything that's happening, even though I not be involved in it. But part of what I do though, under ours, we have budgets and finance under our administrative umbrella.
Yeah.
Because it's at the division level, but when you go up higher, then that's all separated. Now, did you have to test to get into that school, I mean, how did they pick that school for you? Or did you pick it?
You know, when you came in the Army, you were given a test. They called it a General Aptitude Test, GAD, General Aptitude Test. And that aptitude test kind of lines you up to where you'd be, whether you'd go to supply or whether you go to different kinds of school, infantry or artillery, whatever. That would kind of say that's where they go. That's how they wouldn't say it, but that's how you would be picked, selected, be selected.
Okay. So I guess you being good in school helped you to be selected for that particular.
Yeah, GED, right. Yeah, General Aptitude Test, right.
So what was your specialty? I believe you said you're 71 Lima.
Yes.
Now, where were you first stationed? So, well, let me back up. You had basic training in Fort Knox. Where was that school? Where was that admin school?
In Fort Knox, Kentucky, I told you.
Oh, that was in Fort Knox too?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. After Fort Knox, where did you go? Where was your next duty station?
Germany.
Which part?
Yeah, 611's Ordnance Company. Hammelburg, Germany.
Now, when you went to Germany, did you fly or were you on or did you take a ship over there?
General, let's see, what is the name of this? I took a ship. Yeah. You, I went to New York and then I went to, let's see, where was I'm trying to think of where the ship was, where the ship was. But I took a ship. The name of the ship was the General Mueller, I think, Mueller, something like that. General Mueller.
Do you remember how long the that ride was? Because a ship, that's a long journey.
I think it was 7 days.
So did you sail out of New York Harbor or you don't remember?
Yes, that's what I say all that. Right. New York Harbor.
Now, how did you feel about that being on the ocean for 7 days? Did you get seasick or you fared that pretty well?
No, I didn't get seasick, not once, but I didn't feel good on the ship, and we had men on there that did get sick.
But you said you didn't get seasick, but you didn't feel well?
I mean, I didn't feel great. No, I felt but there were men on there that got sick, and you'd be eating, and they'd throw up, vomit, whatever you want to call it, throw up in their. They'd be sitting. You ate out of 10 trays. The trays were made out of tin and had slots in them where they put different foods in there. And so you'd be eating. Somebody up the line would maybe vomit in their tray, and their tray would sometimes come sliding down,
Ugh.
sliding down, all the junk in it. Yeah.
Now, when you were in your cabin on the ship, was it just you and one other person, or were there how many people were in the cabin?
It was just like a, well, look, you didn't have cabins. You just had, it was a great big area, and there's a whole bunch of beds in there. Cots. They wouldn't call them cots, they call them cots. A whole bunch of cots. And you had a cot. You got up, made your cot up, just like you made you cot up in the barracks.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like that. Yeah. That's what she did.
So on the journey, since you said it was about 7 days, what did they have you do during the day on the ship?
So they had places on there where they had you taking different exercises and whatever like that.
Now, what did you do and go back to both, well, basic training and when you were at the specialty school, what did you do for fun and relaxation during that time? Or was it all just being in school?
They didn't have no fun and relaxation. You went to, they had, they had, they had, they had movies there, and you could go to the movies. And I went to whenever I could. I went to movies.
Now, on the ship, did they have movies? Did they play movies on the ship?
No, I don't remember having any movies on the ship. Nope, don't remember that.
So, besides doing exercises, I mean, you can't exercise all day long. So, what else did they have you do on the ship? Did you have to?
I think they had games. I think that's where I learned to play table tennis. They had table tennis, and they had they had table tennis, and they had what else? Pool, table tennis with the paddles, and they had pool tables. Yeah, that was the main thing. That's what they had.
Were you pretty good at table tennis?
I was real good at table tennis.
Do you remember we used to have one in the game room?
Yeah. Yeah, I learned to play table tennis back in Higginsville, going to high school.
Oh, they had that at high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got on the ship, you kind of had one up on people if you had already been exposed to it, huh?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, right. Table tennis, right.
if you were to play today, do you think you'd be pretty good?
I don't know. I've often thought about it because they had table tennis down at where is they call that center here in
Ethelby,
what?
the burger, Ethelby's.
Yeah, Ethel Burger Center. They have table tennis down there, and they have a thing set up for older people to play table tennis.
Yeah, I wonder, well, maybe Glenn could take you one day, because the one thing you just have to be careful of is not losing your balance.
Yeah,
You know, because you have to move fast from side to side.
yeah. That's one thing about table tennis. You got somebody's always knocking it way over the edge, to make you have to jump after to miss it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I played with Madison and Mason. Mason's pretty good. Let's see. Well, that's about it for now.
Okay.
We talked about basic training and on the ship, and then Germany. And tomorrow we'll go into a little bit about when you first landed in Europe, and just experience as much as you can remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I'll give you a call before I go to sleep tonight. But
Okay.
sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna sign off. So I'm here with my dad, Harlan Bradford Seniors. We're signing off, a reflection of my life, episode 20, October 16th, 2020. Say goodbye, Dad.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.